Welcome to the Prophecy Minisodes. This is episode 4. To recap, Grammy and Grandpa George indicated that there are some prophecies that have and are currently playing out. In episode 1 and 2 of this series, we explained how our guides indicated the prophecies are from the book of Revelation, and that we have started with Revelation chapters 8 through 11, known as the Trumpet judgments, because Grammy and Grandpa George said those were completed, having occurred from 2016 to 2021. This series is meant to redress the gross mistranslation, misinterpretation, and misunderstanding that is patriarchal and wrathful into a more balanced and awakened prophecy for the rise of the divine feminine. If you have not seen the previous mini episodes, please do so for a full understanding of what we will discuss in this mini episode and the remaining mini episodes of this series. Now, let's correct the record. The fourth trumpet comes from Revelation chapter 8, verse 12, representing a cosmic dimming of the sun, moon, and stars. Each trumpet brings a major event, shifting the balance in the world in preparation for divine restoration. For far too long, these have been taken as literal, and they should be metaphorical. Grammy and Grandpa George have emphatically said that there is no literal manifestation of the trumpets during episodes 1 and 2. So we will not even address anything literal for the remaining trumpets. We know they are metaphorical and tied to the rise of the divine feminine. This episode and those to come will focus on the metaphorical message with a divine feminine touch. Mimi and I have come up with possible events that have played out, which might be manifestations of Trumpet 4. We will now ask Grammy and Grandpa George if those are indeed manifestations. Grammy and Grandpa George, are you here with us? Thank you so much. And for those watching, this is their yes position. Can you show what your no position will look like? No. Thank you so much. So Revelations chapter 8 verses 12 says, 1/3 of the sun was struck, 1/3 of the moon, and 1/3 of the stars, so that 1/3 turned dark. That is the actual verse from the Bible. Yes. In the last episode at the very end, we asked the reason why it was 1/3 of all things, and they gave us their answer written out. You could go back and watch that at the end of last episode. But a summary of what that would be is that essentially 1/3 has to die in order to birth the new world. We have to let 1/3 of the old ways die off to create the fertile ground for new life to emerge. It's not talking about literal dimming of the stars or the sun or the moon. Just in the previous trumpets, those 1/3 that it died off or affected, it's not a literal manifestation of that. The 1/3 is used because 3 is a sacred divine number, and thus it's tied to creating space, removing 1/3 of what is not serving humanity in order to make space for abundant new life. New life. Yeah. It's sort of like when the leaves fall, and if you let them stay in your garden, they become really important nutrients for the soil and helps the blooming in spring and summer be that much stronger and more beautiful. They also protect the bugs that live in the earth as well during the cold winter months. But let's get to the actual questions we have here, Mimi. I'm very passionate about that. Yeah, we are. We're very passionate about protecting our animals. So the first question, could Trumpet 4 refer to the collective dark night of the soul? Yes. Or an understanding of that meaning. Yes. As in, during that period of time, more people became aware of what it means to have a dark night of the soul. Which is essentially a breakdown or a rock bottom that happens before a spiritual awakening. Yes. Does Trumpet 4 have anything to do with the increase in solar and lunar eclipses that we have seen in the last 10 years or so? Yes, actually. Okay. And
All right.
That's pretty amazing, actually.
Yeah, see, you laughed at me when I said to put that down. Because when we were younger, we saw like one solar eclipse ever. And then in the last 10 years, there's been like two every year or something crazy.
There is a lot. You're
There's
right.
been a lot. That's my point, and it's literally darkening the moon or the sun.
Yes, it's fair.
Right.
So I guess that's the only literal manifestation of this trumpet then? Yes. The increased amount of eclipses.
Literal, not really, but yeah, sure, whatever. We'll call it literal for her sake, I guess. All right. Is another manifestation of Trumpet 4 was that scene when Trump himself stared directly at the solar eclipse in 2017.
Yes.
And people ridiculed him for it, as they should have.
Yes. And then Taylor Swift
wrote a song called Anti-Hero about him, and the line in it says, "I'll stare directly at the sun, but never in the mirror." Is that also a manifestation of Trumpet 4?
Yes.
Thanks, Tay-Tay. Okay. Was the growing distrust in media a manifestation of Trumpet 4?
Yes.
Was the growing need to fact check Trump and other politicians a manifestation of Trumpet 4?
Yes.
Was Trumpet 4 sounding the birthing of the divine feminine awakening movement, leading to the reign of the divine feminine?
Yes.
So this was like a hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn queens.
Yes.
We're going to rewrite that song. Was the increase of marginalized voices coming into the light from the shadows a result of Trumpet 4?
Yes.
And we saw that in a lot of movements rising up that people had never really had a chance to hear from before. We will not take time to mention them here because we might forget some. Is this also seen in the increase of interest in the goddess archetypes?
Yes.
Is this also why many women started to call themselves goddesses and refer to other women as goddesses?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Is it also why more people started referring to God as goddess or God as a woman?
Yes. Ooh, isn't that when like Ariana Grande had that song God as a Woman? Was that also a manifestation of this trumpet? Yes.
Was Trumpet 4 also seen as the increase of more people, like in general, all people embracing their feminine natures?
Yes.
So this is when we started seeing more people who might identify as male wearing makeup or doing makeup tutorials,
Yes.
drag performances, etc.
Yes. Did this also manifest as fathers of daughters starting a girl dad movement? Yes. Where like a girl dad gets their nails painted by their daughter. Yes. Or their daughter does their hair. Yes. And they proudly put that on the internet for everybody to see. Yes. To normalize the feminine side of ourselves. Yes.
Was Trumpet 4 seen as the increase of women being elected to political office?
Yes.
So in 2018,
Yes.
2020,
Yes.
other off year elections like local elections.
Yes. Is that why during this period of time, one of the most prominent figures was the governor of Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer? Yes. Is that also why Joe Biden chose a female running mate? Was that a manifestation of this trumpet? Yes.
Is that also why during this time, not only did Michigan get a female governor, but we got a female secretary of state and attorney general at the same time?
Yes.
This might be a totally off question, but it's on my brain. I often refer to Michigan as God's hands or the hands of the goddess. And all land obviously is very sacred because it is part of creation. Does Michigan hold a special place as being potentially the epicenter of the rise of the divine feminine?
Oh, yes, actually. Wow.
So the things that happen in the state of Michigan through government, pop culture, sports have some sort of prophetical correlation to the rise of the divine feminine.
Yes. Yeah, that's really interesting. The state of Michigan, because it's in a hand shape, are you saying that the state of Michigan, the land, is spiritually sacred ground? Yes. Wow. Is that why the state that got the most attention with regards to the reproductive freedom for all movement in 2022 was the state of Michigan? Yes. But the reproductive freedom for all movement, is that a manifestation of this fourth trumpet? No. Is that because the overturning of Roe and the reproductive freedom movement that birthed out of it came after the trumpets were finished blowing, basically? Yes.
It was just repercussions of the consequences of human errors. And in our state in particular, this was about restoration of
Yes.
the divine sovereignty of the womb space.
Yes.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Another question I have. Did Trumpet 4 manifest as the increase in protests and political demonstrations for all types of civil rights?
Yes.
Was Trumpet 4 also seen as the distrust in science, like the anti vax movement?
Yes.
Was it also seen as the anti climate change movement?
Yes. Is that because those movements are a metaphorical dimming of intellect?
Dimming of
Yes.
light.
And intellect is light?
Mm, mhm.
Yes.
So, any anti science movement, including the people who claim that there is only two genders, that would be a manifestation of Trumpet 4 as well, because that is a dimming of scientific light and the truth.
Yes.
Is there anything that we may have missed in Trumpet 4?
Oh, there is. Well, please let us know. Go
Yeah.
to the first letter of the first word. P, E, O, P. Are you spelling people? Yes. Okay. Please continue. L, I, S, T. Are you going to say listening? Yes. And they gave me the message. I hope I'm understanding you correctly. People listening to false prophets. Yes. False prophets like Ben Shapiro. Yes. False prophets like Andrew, whatever his name is, that's a human
Tate
trafficker. Yes. False prophets like anyone who
is a mega talking head.
yes, yes, mega talking head. Yes. And just for balance here, is Rachel Maddow a false prophet? No. Is Bernie Sanders a false prophet? No. What about
AOC.
AOC? No. Okay. All right.
For balance sake, let's ask this question. Is Donald Trump a false prophet?
Yes.
Okay. Is Joe Biden a false prophet?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Mm.
Is Barack Obama a false prophet?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Yeah, I was certain of that was a no because when I heard him speak during the General Synod in
Mhm.
Hartford, Connecticut, Oh, I had a spiritual
Yeah,
experience in
2000.
2007.
They're like, yes. Is Kamala Harris a false prophet?
The answer is no. Other than the people listening to false prophets and the people that we went over, is there anything else that we missed? No. And for clarity, for this trumpet and all of the trumpets, did they all sound at the same time in 2016? Yes. And did they all end in 2021? Yes. So anything that came after 2021 is just a repercussion or a reverberation of those trumpets sounding from 2016 to 2021. Yes.
Mhm.
Perfect.
Very good.
Thank you, Grandpa George and Grammy.
As Christians, through the deliberate mistranslation of Revelations, we have been led to believe that the contents of this book of the Bible are literal in order to scare us into patriarchal submission. That couldn't be further from the truth. The chapter of Revelation is about the destruction of the old ways of the patriarchal system of violence perpetrated on women, children, men, animals, and Mother Gaia.
Revelation was a warning that humanity has been led astray by false prophets who glorify violence and greed. Revelation is the divine feminine call to arms, so to speak. The seven trumpets are warnings to wake up humanity to the errors of our ways. It's a call to awaken the divine feminine, to restore the earth and all her inhabitants to a world filled with abundant love, joy, and peace. Revelations is the awakening of the divine feminine to restore balance. And as we say in the Christian church in the form of the Gloria Patri, glory be to the Creator, the Christ, and the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen.
The old world is dying to birth a new world, the era of the divine feminine, which is why we should use REM's song as a mantra.
It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine.
Remember that you are made of love and magic, so go make the world a better place.
Peace be with you.
And also with you. Bye.